Guys, hopefully your notifications went off and you're watching the stream. It is a Wednesday night, and normally I am building windows, but I got the night off, and everybody says they want more content, they want more streams, so here we are. We're streaming live on a Wednesday night. Now I don't know how often this is going to happen, but we'll talk some fishing tonight and whatever else you guys want to talk about. We'll talk rods, reels. We can talk YouTube. Matter of fact, saw a YouTube video the other day. I really want to address it because it's very, very. I don't want to say it's misleading, but it's kind of misinformed and stuff about how much YouTubers make and stuff like that. And I kind of feel like this guy really rushed into a decision, and maybe he just makes way more money than me. I don't know. So anyway, make sure you guys smash the like on the video. And we're going to talk tonight. I want to know what you guys are catching fish on, what kind of content y'all want to see. And the spiders are already out tonight. So, but I do want to let you guys know those 6-inch frogs, dude, they're fire. I got a bunch headed to my house. I had to order some off the website. Zach over at 6 Cents, he already sent me a little care package. I just couldn't wait. I had to make sure I got plenty of them. And guys, I'm not the best frog fisherman in the world. But I'd like to make some videos about frog fishing as well. Just some tips and tricks that I've learned, how I catch them and stuff like that. So, what's up, Chad Zone? Yak and Bass. What's up, man? So, yeah, it's Wednesday night. Last night we'd been working really, really hard, and basically my manager said, "Hey, man, won't you have the night off?" And I said, "Sure." Yes, sir. Rage Against the Machine, my favorite band of all time. Really, way before their time. And you listen to a lot of their stuff, they kind of really predict the future in that deal. So, not to get all political, I just didn't really have much clean. I said, well, I'll just wear the Rage Against the Machine shirt. I don't know what to tell you if you don't like Rage. Whether you agree with their statements or not, they got some heaters. Dude, those ridge worms are nice. I'm hoping the more colors will start showing up. I mean, green pumpkin's hard to beat that. I never ordered any of the plum ones, the plum green pumpkins or whatnot. So, yeah, Rage Against the Guggen Machine. That would actually be a really good T-shirt. That is a great idea. Rage Against the Guggen Machine. Yeah. So news in the YouTube fishing world. And I'll let you guys know. I just couldn't really say much, but Matt Allen and Tim Little moved to basically Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is only about 3 hours from me, and that's basically going to be their home camp for a while. They are going to do a lot of filming stuff back on Clear Lake and stuff. But I think a lot of stuff went into. I didn't really watch the video because, no offense to them, I already kind of knew the backstory, what was going on. But hopefully. I would like to take Matt and Tim to a Tennessee football game if we ever get good. And I think them fishing in front of Neyland Stadium trying to catch a smallmouth would be pretty cool. Because we actually play football in the SEC, unlike the Pac-12. They've decided that they're sissies. They're not going to try playing football. So we're going to swing that big SEC hog across the nation this year. And we're not going to let a little virus scare us. Now, I do think coronavirus is a serious deal, but it's being used right now as a scare tactic, and that's all I'm going to say. And hopefully this video doesn't get taken down because of that. So, I'd love to see Tennessee with the winning record. It's going to be tough. We got to play 5 top 15 teams in the SEC, so that's crazy. So, but yeah, I think Tim and Matt transitioned very well. I do worry, and I've seen a few posts on Facebook of guys already talking about following them out on the lake and want to watch them fish. And I'm like, and I'm sure this happens in California too, but I'm like, man, these guys haven't even moved here, and y'all talking about following them around and stuff. It's just crazy. So I think they should just buy brand new boats right now and re-rig them up. Have like decoy boats so no one knows who they are. Matt should just cut his hair. You know, Tim should grow a big burly beard. Really throw people off for a loop. Because it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. And I think they'll find out, too, it can be very frustrating here especially on some of the smaller TVA lakes, getting the offshore bite going without getting into it with people. But I don't think I'm really telling them anything. I think the California crazies are just as bad. So, dude, Chattanooga is a great area because you can get to Nashville an hour and a half, you can get to Knoxville an hour and a half, you can get to Atlanta in an hour and a half, 2 hours. You can just get around the country really well. A lot of benefits of living in Tennessee. There's no state sales tax. That's one really good thing. Now they do have a food tax, so it's definitely a benefit. But I'm just going on here and ramble on and talk tonight, I guess, for a while or whatever. If y'all don't want to listen, then you just tell me, hey, Baitman, shut the hell up. We're going to go to bed. But I saw this video. Someone actually sent it to me on Instagram and said, what do you think? And it was a guy who quit his job for YouTube. He has little under 30,000 subscribers. Let me answer some questions right now before I get into that rant, because it could be pretty bad. Any idea why Rains hardly has any tungsten out anymore? Can't find the plain Rains weights anymore, especially the 1 ounce. Well, I'm not sure. I know it's imported, so a lot of imported stuff is really been put on hold. I like Rains, the football jig weights. Those are really nice. They're basically like a regular tungsten weight, but they're football head, so you can kind of make your own wobble head out of that stuff. But there's so much competition in that tungsten market right now that everybody's got a tungsten product. Everyone's got tungsten businesses popping up, and they're really just buying from 2 wholesalers out of China. So that's why I don't get torn up. I buy it when I can. You know, I got 6 cents tungsten. Is it any better than anything else? No, not really, but it was convenient. That's kind of how I buy tungsten. Is it convenient? I'm always shopping for stuff. So, and a lot of people say, well, why don't we just make tungsten here? Well, the process is not very good. It's not a clean process. It wouldn't really pass a lot of EPA standards. So it's pretty much going to be over in China permanently. And as a matter of fact, 99% of the tungsten mines and everything's in China. So it's just going how it is. So. Good question, Dennis. Thoughts on fishing for suspended bass? You know, I'm not very good at that. Matter of fact, I'm just not good at fishing anyways. But if I had to fish for suspending bass, a drop shot, a jerk bait, and a swim bait are going to be my friends. Swim bait, I can kind of count it down to the fish and figure out, you know, especially if you can graph them. You know, if you can find them on your graph, you can kind of count that swim bait down. Drop shot, if they're suspended off the bottom a couple feet or whatnot, even inches off the bottom. Bass will suspend inches off the bottom. You know, just because they're on the bottom doesn't always mean they're feeding, but that's usually a better sign. Bass always tend to look up at baits, so you don't want anything below. And obviously a jerk bait, man, it's really hard to beat a jerk bait for suspended fish. A preacher jig, I personally don't throw a hair jig at suspended bass. It's a really hard deal because again, your bait's going to fall below the fish. You want something that stays up above them because bass tend to feed up. So when bass are on the bottom, it's great for a hair jig because that jig, they can see it fall toward them, and if it hits the bottom, they're not having to really look farther way down because their eyes, the way they set on a bass, their eyes set on the side. So if it goes straight down, they don't see that. But preacher jig is a deadly technique. It's really actually good for triggering a school, not so much as suspended fish, but you know, guys catch them on it. You can swim that hair jig for suspended bass. 6 Cents only has 2 jerkbait colors on the website. Any idea when they get restocked? I think you're going to see a lot of 6 Cents stuff start to come in September, October-ish. Because, man, that's why I told guys last year, it was in the fall when the Jank Juice jerkbait come out. I said, y'all better load down because when people start buying this stuff, it really gets... Who in that? What in the hell is going on outside? My wife's beating the hell out of the trash can outside. I don't know what was going on. Best Boss of Square Bill for the money. I think it's hard to beat the Black Label stuff. The new Black Label Wreck is really, really good. It's got some awesome hunting action, and probably the Black Label, the new Peanut. Okay, what are you doing? I'm
taking the trash out. I'm doing my stream. Why are you being
so loud? I think my wife is playing jokes on me. Every time I'm messing around on here, she just starts getting loud outside, and I keep thinking somebody's messing with our trash. But you ever do good with suspending jerk baits in water in the upper 80s? I don't. In fact, if I was going to fish a jerk bait, the water's in the upper 80s. Number one, a lot of those suspended jerk baits are tuned for water that's in that 60-degree range, and at 55 to 60. So really warm water, they don't act the same. What's up, Alan? Oh, heck yeah, TK, what's up, my man? Yeah, I'm not working tonight, so I figured I would do something productive. It's kind of crazy. I always talk about, YouTube, and when I'm uploading content, it seems like things get better. Well, I did the stream Saturday night, daggone fly out of here, and then I posted that little mini video of the unboxing. I still got some. That's the one from Paychecks right there, baby. I posted that video, all of a sudden I jumped up like 30 subscribers, and people were commenting and saying they seen it in the recommended videos. So that just tells me I really need to push more content out. I'm kind of stalled here. I've been at like 14,500 subscribers, around that area, for like a month and a half now. Back when I was streaming like every day, it seemed, I've jumped up like 2,000 real quick. So YouTube really used to punish me for streaming too. Like, I would stream and not get any traction, but I'm over it, man. I just want to talk baits, whether I'm going to be 20,000 or 30,000. But anyway, yeah. I think the Ufo weights are really good, man. They look really good, but I'm not sold on them, man. I've seen a lot of people say they're pretty overrated. I'm not a big bluegill pattern swim bait guy, though. I'm more of I like a shad profile for a lot of reasons. Like Byron Velvick's in a podcast, when bass, I don't think they eat big bluegill on purpose because they get choked. Whereas a shad, the way the fins lay and everything, they're not as tall. They can eat them a lot easier. But no, sir, this hat is not an Old Spice hat, but I am wearing Old Spice, Colonel Reb. What's up, Scott? I am well. I'm doing good. Just worn out from working all the time. I got a nice little break tonight, so. Bo Judd, I was going to order some speed ends. It's a good-looking little bait. I've always been an old-school Bill Norman fan. Love the deep little end. That's one of my favorite baits. So the way I take it, this is like a square bill version of the deep little end. So they're missing a few colors I really like, but they got some new colors as well. But anyway, I don't even have any new baits. I was on Tackle Warehouse loading up on some new frogs. So if anybody's got a suggestion for a couple frogs I'd like to check out, because my frog game's pretty weak. I've always kind of just stuck to the Spro, the Jackal Gavacho, your basic Booyah. That's always been really my favorite frogs. Now, I really like the 6th Sense frog. My prototype is not the same as the production models. And I'm really excited for the production models. So I do have a big Gabbit. That's a really good one. I fish mini bluegill lakes, the Crush 50X and backwater bluegill wears them out. Dude, that's a great color. It's actually a really good trap color as well. I think people overlook the bluegill patterns and lipless crankbaits. I know guys out west really like some of the TO gills and some of the BE gill, Lucky Craft LV500s, but I think in the south, everyone's kind of on that chrome and blue or red pattern. They they don't throw the gills as much, and I think fish do like those. Pavement Queens. Yeah. So here's the deal on those, TK. Long story short, I had a buddy that has been trying to find these baits, and he basically told me what he would pay for them, all that, and some random dude emailed me, said been watching the stream, blah blah blah, and he had a bunch of that stuff, and he was wanting to sell them. And so I messaged my buddy, said, man, this is crazy. And I thought the guy was BSing, and he started sending pictures, and so I got him hooked up, and my buddy just said, hey man, just have them shipped to your house. I want you to do a video about it, blah 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 blah, and then send them to me. And I said, all right, that's cool. So I didn't make no money, but I promise you he's going to fish them. But he's got some other ones, and I said, I want some beat up ones. That way, if I need a repaint, I can just send them to somebody. So if I get them, I'll be throwing them if I get time to fish. There you go. That's it, TK. Just a bait broker. That's all I am. But I do need to do some fishing. Oh, Eric hurt my feelings. I posted that photo this morning. He said, bud, they need some rash on them. And all I had to say was, I agree. I need to get out and do more fishing. But I can't tell you, TK, you know about this bait right here, bud. This little Jimmy Eaters. This little twitch will get 8. And as many fish I caught the other day, it ain't rashed up too bad. It's got some teeth marks on it. I really like the paint jobs Jimmy puts out too. And I know you're very high on his balsa bait. So. Alright. Speaking of frogs, I'm still looking for a good chipmunk with real fur tail. I don't know if I can find that. Yeah, I like the big gabbit. It's definitely a good looking frog. I've been trying to find an Amakatsu Buddha Dixie Bass, and I was just on the hookup tackle, and they're still out on those. It's kind of like the Cara frog, a little bit smaller. I like that. I have not tried a mullet sneaky frog. That's in my tackle warehouse cart. Now the BD Evo frog, since BD Baits bought mullets out. What's up, Takester 2146? I tell you what, on serious note, get Tactical Bass on with their move. Dude, I'd love to get Matt and Tim on. Go do something with them. It's just they kind of just do their own thing, and I'm cool with that. You know, I'm not a nut hugger like some people. I don't mean that in any disrespect for Matt and Tim, and they understand. You know, but I'm not going to go out of my way to try to have them on or make content with them, because I let them do their thing, and they're really, really good at it. And I know they're fixing to get hit up by all kinds of people wanting to collaborate, do this and do that, and I want to see them make really good content in the same area I am. And yeah, I think a lot of times people just collaborate just to get their subs up. And you know, if I do something with Matt and Tim, it's because it's a informational, educational deal, stuff like that. I'm not just trying to boost my own ego. So I'm just staying in my lane, and that's where I am. I sit here, I do live streams, and I do a few videos, and try to do some podcasts. And you know, I've never claimed to be the best fisherman, never claimed to go the most. I just like the baits, and I know a lot about them. I can tell you what's good, what's not, how they're made, and that stuff. And you know, I try to fish when I can. And since Baitman Jr. is getting more into fishing, you know, we'll be doing more pond hopping. I was going to take him today, and it come a freaking flood here. So I have tried the Spro Spit Shad. It's a pretty cool bait. It doesn't get a lot of love, but it's a cool bait. It's definitely got some properties that I like about it. I think I have one up here somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it is. This is the one I like. So there's two. One is the Bronze Eye. This is the Bronze Eye Shad 65. So a lot of people didn't realize there was two of these. What's up, Colin J? So this is the Bronze Eye Shad, not the Bronze Eye Frog. It's the Bronze Eye Shad. If you look, it's got the tail, just one tail, with two tails stacked vertically on it, and it's got a very deep V on that. So it's really made to kick side to side, and it kind of walks like it dips down, comes up. Now that's one of my favorite colors though from Spro is Killer Gill. If you have a hard time deciding what to get Killer Gill. It imitates a shad, bluegill. It's really, really good. So that's the regular Bronze Eye Shad. It's designed to glide and walk. Now, this right here is the Spit Shad, what somebody just talked about. Very similar. You've got your two tails. They're vertically stacked. It does have a little bit of V, but not like the Bronze Eye Shad on my right, deep V. This one rounded, but it's got the cup mouth. This is pretty similar to the 6th Sense frog that's out, but this guy, if you see that, how it is, it's got these little cups. It makes this thing kind of spit as it's walking, kind of like a shower blow. Not quite as big as a shower blow frog, but I like this if I really want to imitate a shad around the shad spawn. I know Dean Rojas is a big fan of this, and a lot of the guys, they like it when bass are feeding on shad around bushes and stuff like that. Great little frog, man. And to be honest with you guys, Spro makes great stuff. But very similar, but very different frogs, and these don't get talked about a whole lot. Now I got to put them back in the packages. That's always my favorite part. All right, let's see. I'll go back here and answer a few questions. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate. I just kind of do a little bit of everything. I'll never be a tactical bassin or the Googans or anything like that, but I know my role and I like to stay in it. You know, if the channel takes off and I got 50, 75, 80,000 subs, great. But I'm also in my early 30s. Most of the subs that I'm going to get, I'm not going to get the teeny bopper pond hopper guys. That's just not going to happen. But I just want to talk about baits, man, and make fun and have fun. I don't want to be all serious all the time. But I do want to go wrangle some snakes with Colin J. I'm not gonna lie, and maybe eat some bullfrogs. My kids watch Colin J's channel all the time. They're good people too. So, all right, I picked one of. Ain't gonna lie, I was watching Colin J videos, then seen Baitman go live. Hey, that's what it's about, man. I'm not gonna lie, Cole's got the long locks going. I miss my hair where I could grow it out like that. I need to get a haircut bad. Spitting Image top order was a really, really good one, man. You know, a lot of people are paying good money for the old Spitting Image that had his Bill Dance on it. So that's a bait you guys need to look for. Hard to get baits, the old Excalibur Spitting Image, and the Waking Image, if you can find them. Those are really, really good baits. They got the ones with Bill Dance's name on it. The new ones they cut out my boy Bill off that. So, Drew, the Doomsday D Hop 75 frog, hesitating to buy it. I hesitated to buy it as well. I would love to have some Sonny McFarlane flat shads. Great bait. So, what's my favorite color for muddy water spinnerbait fishing? I keep it really simple. Chartreuse and white, or I like black for muddy water. So, Spro does make a very good underrated lipless crankbait. Hunter Nixon. Joe Loki, my man Joe, the frogzilla you found at Mike's Tackle World is a big fish catcher. Maybe not the most efficient frog, but the extra weight from the big profile draws fish on. So I've got these old Golly, these things are really old. These are some giant frogs from Bass Pro Shop. I don't even know if I've ever taken this out of the pack. I found these at my dad's house. And my dad don't throw a frog, so I don't know how. But check out the profile on this guy. Got a really small tail. I mean, it's almost like, this looks like freaking Slimer off Ghostbusters. But it is unbelievably soft. But back here where the hooks are, it won't compress that much. So I have a feeling the hookup ratios have got to be a little dog shit on this thing. Pardon my French, but this is a big old frog. Now, Spro makes the King Daddy. I didn't really want to make this the frog show. I planned on doing a frog show Saturday night. So, but these are very unique. But man, number one, the hooks ain't even sharp. They've been in here so long. So, Robert, I seen you earlier, bud. Found a black Repo Man still in the box. That's awesome, man. That's the only color. There's two colors I didn't get, and that was Neon Gill, it's called Shock Boat, and Vader, which is the black one. So, Norman Fat Boy is a really good square bill. Really good. Very underrated. But these things are crazy. But that hook is way undersized for what that bait is. I imagine you get some awesome blow-ups from some big fish, but it's going to be really hard to hook them up. I think they're kind of vintage and rare, so I'm just going to keep these. Dude, Bobby's Perfect Frog is one of the best walking frogs out there. Matter of fact, I went to order some from TW St. Cress, and they were freaking out of Bobby's Perfect Frog. I'm going to back up a little bit here. It's hard to find any baits in my arse right now. Dude, Sycamore Outdoors, you my boy. But if you got baits in your arse, and I might too, we got problems. Johnny Fisher, I want to get into drop shot. What are good baits for that? Robo Worm, and a Robo Worm. Those are really good. But on a serious note, get you some Robo Worms. Strike King Dream Shot is really good. The missile baits, it's Bomb Shot. It's kind of like a D-bomb little thing. That's a really, really good. And get you some Berkeley Max Scent flat nose worms. Period. And you can make a drop shot bait out of everything, but you got to have that Max Scent. The flat nose worm. Some 4-inch Cincos are good on drop shot. Robo worms. KVD Dream Shots, those are really, really good. And I'm not an excellent drop shot fisherman, and I can catch them on a Robo Worm. Especially out deep, man. They love it. Just get you some red or pink. Morning Dawn, Aaron's Magic, Margarita Mutilator. It's about all you need. All right, here's a good question. Scott Keefe, what's up, Baitman? Bought a pair of those sunglasses you have. Love them. Dude, I love them. Hopefully you use my Baitman code. If not, no big deal. But I really like the Waterlands, man. They're great for the money. And I'm not bashing Costa. I loved my Costas. They're great. But they're glass and they're really expensive. Whereas these aren't glass, and I can't tell much of a difference. They're very light. Dylan Dixon, how do you decide what color top water to throw? I pretty much try to stick to shad patterns and bone or bluegill, and I like black. You gotta let the fish tell you. If I'm having a lot of fish miss a white bait, or they're hitting it and just not getting it, I'm either going to go brighter or I'm going to go to something black. I don't want them to. I want them to react and not see it as well. And usually going translucent or black, you'll catch those fish. But the clear water, I'm going to go clear colors. And if it's hot summertime, and I notice there's a lot of bluegill active, I'll go to some bluegill colors. To be honest, I don't know if I work the bait fast enough. I don't know if they can really tell. So, dude, that Bobby's Perfect Frog is very good. Snag-proof frogs are just in general good. And what's up, Austin Hicks? Dude got a PB on a white snag-proof Bobby's Perfect. So I think I even heard Matt Allen talk about how he used to throw that frog all the time, and he got to experimenting with different things, which is kind of like me. I used to be a Rapala DT16 guy, and DD22. That's about the only deep crankbaits I threw. Then I got the 6XD, and now I got 6 cents, and I just experiment all the time. Like when I go fishing, I want to catch fish on new baits. Period. I'm not a tournament fisherman anymore. I'll fish tournaments. It's no big deal. But I don't like wear a jersey around and make post recap videos of my 87th place finish and tag all my 10% off sponsors. I just like to go out and fish. And, I like making Instagram photos. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And talking about baits. That's my deal. And there's some people that think it's a joke, and that's okay. My local mom and pop tackle store has the Magnum T-Mac worms from Netmate. Thoughts? I'd grab them up, dude. The Super T-Mac worm is a really, really good one. There's one color that we used to throw here on Kentucky Lake. It was Table Rock Red. It was really, really good, especially when our water would clear up. What's up, Victor? Hope all is well. What is a fair price for Depths 250 Glide? Really want to get one. You can get them under $200 pretty easy, Victor. I would say anywhere between $125 and $140 for a 250 is a good price. OGs are going to run you about $175, maybe to $200 and that's on the Facebook trade market. Now, new retail, you're going to have to pay $200, but if you can find a 250 in $140 range. Some colors like Flash Carp and stuff are going to be a little bit harder to get. 7-inch Cinco is nasty. What's up, Mike Perez? Yeah, Netbait does make a good drop shot. It's their like 5th series or something like that. The Molex, I'm going to say the Molex Sneaky Frog in both sizes cover all the bases. Big one could be worked, hard to spit, heavy enough for Matt. Yeah, I like that Molex frog. They got a new frog where they teamed up with my buddy Tom Best of Frog Eaters. If you're not following that Facebook, Instagram group, that's Frog Eaters is awesome. And then their new frog is the Shizzle. Bow Bluegill, yeah, that's a good color. I don't throw it as much as, Morning Dawn. Morning Dawn Halo is a really good color, too. Egg Zone makes a good drop shot bait. I don't throw much of their stuff. I've got a couple of their Ned worms I really like. They were all over my Instagram for a while, and they offered me like 10% off, and I'm pretty loyal to the 6. So let's see. Did the Spro or Bobby's Perfect Frog come out first? Bobby's Perfect, way ahead of the Spro, I believe. The original frog that Dean Rojas used was the Bose Sumo frog, and those are really hard to get to right now. If you can find any, get you some of those bows. Yes, Space Monkey is a great bait. Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing, freestyle bass fishing. I don't think it makes you any better of an angler, and I don't mean this the wrong way. Just to go out and say, well, I catch them on swim bait every day. Okay. What are you catching them on? Different types of swim baits? And then that definitely makes you stick. But if you're just out there throwing a Kitech on a ball head, yeah, you can catch 17, 18 pounds. But does that really make you a better angler, or just somebody that's found some fish that bought a little swim bait? And it gets boring, man. I love throwing a big worm, but I want to try new stuff and try new techniques, and if I don't catch them on it, that's on me. But I like the challenge of it. Again, I've never said I'm a professional. I'm not even saying I'm not even probably in the top 500 YouTube fishermen. But I just enjoy tinkering. Just like some people, they like working on their drag car or their dirt car. They may never win a race, but that's just their deal. That's kind of what I like to do. I like to tinker and figure out things. Do I know a place that has a swimming crank in stock? Man, I don't. I do not. If it's not on 6 cents or TW, Land Big Fish, or Hook Up Tackle, I won't know. None of my local stores even carry it. So, you need to tell 6 cents to make that hat you got on again. They were sold out quick when they had it. Yeah, Dude, they just dropped a bunch of new shirts, some more new hats and stuff like that. Look at this hair. This is freaking ridiculous. This is why I wear a hat all the time. They dropped some new stuff. I want to show you guys something really cool. If you have never, if you've never seen a Didnt t-shirt, I end up making some Didnt shirts, and there's always a link in the description. Anyway, my buddy Monty Mac's always in the stream. He went fishing with Jake Lawrence. Check this out. This is one of the coolest things I've seen. Monty Mac holding a Didnt, wearing a Didnt t-shirt. Now, how awesome is that? All that says to me, if you buy a Didnt shirt, you're guaranteed to catch a Didnt. So, link to those t-shirts is in the description. This sucker was like almost 9 pounds, by the way. So, shout out to Monty Mac, who's usually in the chat here. Great dude, giant bass, a true Didnt. I gotta read this text here. Yeah, shout out if you got one of those shirts. I need, but yes, it is. Rage Against the Machine t-shirt is my favorite album, Evil Empire, and I just threw it on. I love 90s rock, 80s rock, stuff like that too. So if anybody ever wants to know, I don't listen. I do actually listen to a lot of old rap, but if anyone wants to know, that's the kind of music I like to listen to. What is my October bait? I really like to go down to, I like to throw a trap a lot in October, and I'm going to be like Brent Anderson. I'm going to throw a bone-colored walking bait. It's either going to be a saltwater super spook, a shower blow, anything like that in the fall, and I'm going to work it really fast. River, Oxbow Lakes this time of year bait suggestions. Well, I don't fish a lot of those Oxbow Lakes, but Colonel Reb, I filmed Randy Howell on one several years ago, and I want to say it was late July, early August, and he smashed them on a white swim jig, working about as fast as you can, just on the pond grass. I call it just like water willow or whatever, just real thin, stringy stuff that grows up around the bank. I believe it was some Oxbow around Neely Henry, and he just smashed them. So. Buzzbait, stuff like that seemed really good on those Oxbow Lakes. So. No problem, Dylan. I appreciate you joining into the stream. Man, I can play guitar good enough to where you'll come beat me over the head with it. Kind of like, what's the movie with John Belushi where the dude's playing guitar and he just picks it up and smashes him in the head? Yeah, that's me. I know a few power chords, that's about it. But, I don't know what else you got. Oh yeah. So, anyway, this is important. So, I watched this video, I guess it was 2 days ago, a day ago, or something like that. And, there's this guy on YouTube. And, he's the one that did the video like 8 months ago or something like that. Zoom frogs, Robert, they're all right. I like the horny toad and the other Zoom frog. I haven't played with their hollow body ones yet. They're big, I know that. Anyway, so I'm watching this guy, and he's the one that made the infamous. One of the guys that made the videos. Well, I've never tried Guggen rods, but they're going to be the best rods ever. and I'm going to support them and hug the Googans nuts because I can. And anyway, so he makes this video. He quit his job, and maybe I'm in the wrong career choice or whatever. This dude's saying he was parking valet cars and making enough to feed his family and have this big luxurious house and all this. Dude, I'm just gonna let you know, if I can go out and make $4 a month parking cars, bring them some bitches in my driveway right now. I'll quit doing YouTube if I can make that kind of money parking cars. I've never had an accident. My insurance is cheap. I would be top level valet driver. So this dude, obviously making this money, quits, and then he pulls up his YouTube revenue, which, by the way, is totally against the YouTube terms of service. You're really not allowed to show people what you actually make and stuff like that, you know. But I don't really care. I ain't no snitch. I'm just saying. And he's like, we had a great month. I got $1,100 in ad revenue. And I'm like, all right. So here's what is not being said about that. Dude, valet probably for the Guggen mob. I don't know. All right, so let's say I made $1,000, and this guy says he posts a video every day. So you got to film the video, you got to edit the video, you got to get into YouTube and do all that stuff. And so he made 30 videos in 1 month and $1,100. I would love to be a sun tanning lotion consultant. That sounds like the perfect idea. Sun tanning lotion consultant. So 30 videos a month doing all this work, and he's like, I made $1,100, so I'm quitting my job. What is wrong with people? $1,100? This is probably somebody that is banking on a second stimulus check from Donald Trump. And you know what? It's okay to make $1,100 a month on YouTube if you got a couple side hustles. Obviously, I got my wife, I got my 2 kids, I got a dadgum dog and a cat, so I got 5 mouths to feed plus myself. There's no way. No, this guy's married, has a wife or whatever, and she's got a job, and you know, I respect the hustle, so don't get me wrong here. So if this dude, his name's Weston, gets on my channel and thinks I respect the hustle, I get it. But there's no way, man. So if you piece that out, I'm not good at math. I don't mind. I'll let you guys know. Let's say he made $1,100. He says best month though he made $4,000. Okay, so let's say he averages 10 hours a day. So that's 70 times 4. That's 280 hours of work doing a video every day for YouTube. All right. Let's just say $4,000 divided by 280. $14 an hour. Where I work, we start out at $15 an hour. And you only have to work, 50 hours a week. So let's say he said, well, I got $1,100 this month. Divide that by 280. He made $3.92 an hour. That is absolutely insane. Now, hey, if you want to risk and take the jump, I'll respect that. But, he ultimately said, well, there's so many videos. These guys are getting 250,000 views a video. They're making $5-6 grand a video. I've got 3 videos that's got over 200,000 video views, and I haven't made 4 or 5 grand off of them. It was literally, it was under 1,000. I did not see the Hackney Facebook video. I'd like to see that. So, Hunter, it's a combination of both, man. But anyway, so I respect the guy's hustle, but it is a tough road. But what I want to say, I didn't agree with really putting those YouTube numbers out there because it's kind of false. And then he went on and said, well, I got other sponsorships where I make money, which is fine. We all do, I got one right here. They take care of me. I take care of them. And he said, but I also got 2 kayaks, and that was $7,000. Well, I'm sorry, that's not $7,000. That's 2 free kayaks. That is not. You cannot, tote that around as cash. It's free product, but it's only worth what someone will pay for. Now that you've used them and all this stuff, those $7,000 or $3,000 kayaks a piece, which I know what they cost, I used to sell them, they're not worth that anymore. They're worth about half. And then you've got to go make all this video. So one of the best pieces of advice I ever heard in my life was never quit a job until you have another one. And I've quit one and had to go, look, it's a whole lot easier to get a job when you've got another one. So that is why you will not see me quit my job for YouTube until the money and all that lines up. There's no insurance with YouTube. There's no 401k. There's no guarantee your channel's even going to be up tomorrow. So I do what I do. I'm a family man. I try to make a couple videos a week. Sometimes I don't. But I think a stream a week, a podcast a week, and a short video, I think for this channel that's pretty doable. And maybe I get enough time, work slows down, I can knock out several videos a day and have me a nice stream of content. But it's tough. And I like to go fishing. I don't even carry a camera with me half the time I go. So, what was that an Evergreen flat in your box? Yes, I got 2. Where is that box? I got to get another one because I got a lot more flat sides now. But this is what I posted there on YouTube. I love these. I like the new. I'm a Tennessee guy, but the red Mafia box. And like I said, you get your lure lock box. You lock in about 8 of these, and that's about it. I do like the new Plano 3700s though. They're pretty nice. But yes, I have 2 Evergreen Cranks in here. So this is the Flat Force. This is the US version. That's very close to the baby carp color, the old Shad Rat crawdad right there. You're right, St. Crest. I'm sure he's a decent guy, but he's kind of got this wannabe Conor McGregor deal going, which Conor McGregor's cool. And then this is the JDM version of the Flat Force. If you'll notice, that JDM bill is quite a bit different than the US. It kind of comes out it's more narrow but the bait itself, the JDM one and the US have something different. You'll notice that it's got the JDM one is actually wider. It's shorter than the US, and the tail's different. Colonel Red, appreciate the $2 make you holler. You ain't bad for an Ole Miss Rebel. Plus, my buddy Lane Kiffin's over there coaching y'all. I think Ole Miss is going to be pretty good this year. I think we're going to play. Plumlee's a good quarterback. I know what Kiffin can do with quarterbacks. Y'all sneak up on somebody. Flat Force is a great bait, dude. Evergreen makes some really, really good hard baits. They're very good, yeah. I've got the Mafia spinnerbait box, but TK, I need a good buzzbait box, man. Almost all my buzzbaits are hanging up over here. I know y'all probably can't see this. Well, I'll move my camera back over here. So this is the buzzbait wall, TK. I've got all these things hanging like right here, and then some in packages. It's just a gosh dang mess over here. That's my buzzbait storage right now, and it's part of my spinnerbait storage. I've really outgrown everything, so got my knot baits up here. I think when my dad, when I sold my boat, my dad helped me take care of that purchase deal or whatnot. He actually found the buyer to my boat, so shout out to Dad. I think we accidentally left a bunch of my knot spinnerbaits in there. I had so many. I mean, this was always my lethal combination right here. This is an accent knot spinnerbait. This is 3/4 ounce, and that's a number 6 accent blade. This dude right here will hunt. for big smallmouth tonight. Got a lot of thump in it, pretty thin wire, good hook, and that was always just a little zoom double tail on the back. I catch a lot of big smallmouth on that. And then the last couple years, this has really been my jam. Is the War Eagle nighttime spinnerbait. Only issue, it's got a little bit smaller hook. I run a real small trailer hook on it. And it's got to be, because if you put any trailer on this, but it's got a rattle on it. Anyway, we'll get in it. I'm going to do a night fishing video here pretty soon. Okay, it is time to do some night fishing. So. I had a Skeeter ZX 225. It was an 07 model. And it would freaking haul the mail. For a 225, I could run 73 mile an hour. But it rode so good. But it is the best shallow water fishing boat I've been in. But, you know, sometimes when you knock your wife up before you're married and you just got laid off from a job, that was a poor life decision there. You got to sell your boat. Because, you know what, I got to take care of my kids. I'm not going to be deadbeat dad. Never would do that. So, James, that's a great question. If you looked at most of my spinnerbaits, I'm going to run gold or I'm going to run silver at night. I like gold when it's really cloudy, it's really dark. I like gold. And then when there's some light, I like to go to a silver. I'm wanting the bass to, I don't, for the most part, it's not going to be a visual deal to me. I want them to have to attack my bait based on what they're feeling with their lateral line. Full moon, I will kind of go to a bubblegum colored skirt, some white. I even have thrown some double willows at night and done really, really good. Yeah, I mean, what's up, Clay? Glad you're in here, brother. Yeah, but I got 2 country songs in the making with that story. But that's life, man. That was just a double tail fat Edward David. So my actually all-time favorite trailer for a nighttime spinnerbait is a net bait pack a chunk. Black neon pack a chunk slays it for me. I think I might even have one on here. Yep, I do. I don't even know who makes this night spinnerbait. This sucker is about worn out. Gonna have to change the blade. That blade's gotten rusted and whatnot, but putting a pack a chunk on a nighttime spinnerbait, dude, that right there freaking slays. I don't know if that's not a Hoppies. I'm not sure who makes that, but I found it. Obviously, I fished with it before. I think that's a Punisher nighttime spinnerbait. I do believe. I probably got that out of Craig Hipsher's boat, but dude, that right there on the back. Yeah, I don't think I think that's a good rumor, Jimmy. I don't know where it started from, but it is not true. But I would love to do some hanging out with Matt and Tim again. I've never fished with Tim, but I have fished with Matt. It was a great time. He's an unbelievable fisherman. And he knows they know where to find me if they want to go fishing. I appreciate it, Mike. It was good twice. Well, I appreciate you guys joining in tonight on a Wednesday night. It's still crazy to me that, you know, people would want to watch me talk about fishing tackle at any time. I mean, there's 150 people in here and stuff like that. Maybe y'all just like to get away from your wife like I do sometimes and just chill and watch some YouTube. So, good question, Austin Hicks. When do I throw a buzzbait over other top orders? One, if there's a lot of fishing pressure, I like a buzzbait because you can get them as subtle as you want where they barely squeak. You can fish them really slow. You can skip a buzzbait really, really well. And it's pretty much, unless you're throwing in mats, it's pretty weedless. It's great around docks. I feel I can cover water faster and be very accurate with the buzzbait versus throwing a spook and walking baits. Sometimes they tend to catch air and dart. A popar doesn't cover water as fast, but a popar for fishing shallow and tight to cover is probably one of the you can be really accurate with it, and you can let that bait sit in the strike zone the longest with the popper. Fish are really aggressive and they're chasing shad. I'm going to go with a walking bait. If I think I'm just looking to find fish, cover water, that's when I go for a buzzbait. Buzzbait's one of the best search baits ever made. A lot of times, if you're getting blow-ups and missing fish, you can come back in that area and some stuff and drag the bottom, and or crankbait, or even a fluke behind it and catching fish. Dude, if I had an Alice Cooperstown shirt, I'd sport it. So I like Alice Cooper quite a bit. I like all the 80s rock. While we're on here, my favorite 80s bands, obviously Motley Crue, Rat, Dawkins. I like Poison All Right. I like Skid Row, Alice Cooper. Good stuff. Guns N' Roses. A little overrated on the Guns N' Roses, but Bass Fishing Fools, they are the new Vixens, good as the originals. I'm going to tell you yes, but many people will tell you no. But I also feel like this, and I said it before, I said in a previous video, if you're having really good luck on the old Vixen, I can see why you wouldn't think the same thing would happen with the new. We as fishermen, we don't like to change. We also refuse to believe the new version is better than the old version on some things. I'm like that, man. There's some baits that if it's old, that's the ones I want. I don't want the new ones, because I am convinced 100% the old one's better. Even though the new one may have better hardware, it may hold up better, and have better colors. I want the old ones, because by God, they turn a different way when you hit a stump. So, absolutely watch the Motley Crue movie. I watched it by myself at about 4 o'clock in the morning. Thank goodness. But yes, Pink Floyd, great band. I like Pink Floyd. Some of their music's not my style, but I like Pink Floyd quite a bit. They're put on a big old pedestal, but I like Pink Floyd. Led Zeppelin, kind of overrated to me. So, guys, if y'all don't mind, can y'all excuse me? I've got to go get a drink real quick, but I will send, if y'all ready for this, I'm going to send Baitman Jr. in here for a little bit while I go fix me a drink.
So, I'm back.
Baitman Jr., tell them what we got coming. You gonna tell them about it?
It's safe.
Alright. You come out here and then I'll come in. I went to get me a drink, and we have got a new official mascot. Whoa! Oh shoot! Oh no! He is way. We got a tree frog. We got a legitimate tree.
Oh!
I'll get him. Well, there's a tree frog. He's now on the bait wall. Brooks found him on the door. So he's brown and green. He's like blending in over there. So anyway. All right, Baitman, is the way to donate besides Super Chat I have to give you to have... yes, I got a link to my personal PayPal in the description of my videos after they upload, so... You can do that if you want, Victor. You don't have to. I just appreciate you guys supporting everything, so... Alright, I own backups if I missed any comments. What's up, Matt Bradley? The old Abu Gen 1 Revos were better than the new ones. Dude, that's a fact. I will agree with that. I have heard of the Hubs Chub topwater bait. '90s Corrado or 2020 Corrado, what's better? The new Corrado K absolutely is so much better than the '90s Corrado. But I will say this: the '90s green Corrado was one of the best reels ever made, along with the white Chronart. They're built like tanks. They're very simplistic. There's not a lot of smoke and mirrors with them. They work. They catch fish. Dude, we were talking frogs earlier.
He's just right there.
Where's he at?
He's just chilling right there.
He's just chilling right there?
Yeah.
No, he's just going to hang out in the bait room.
Mm.
Brooks, how much rain did we get today?
A lot.
A lot?
It was a flood.
It was a flood. I wonder if I got the video on my phone.
Yeah, you did.
I did?
Yeah.
Well, it ain't on here.
That's weird.
It is weird. Videos. Not on here. Yeah. What's up, Northeast Bass Fishing? I like the E5, E7, Chronart, E6. The white ones was really, really good. The Old Corrado B's are still bringing big money. Whoa, we got one guy says the '90s Corrado is better. I will disagree. I think the new one's really good. It's got better gears, better drag, a lot smoother. The old ones are still good. I mean, I could pick up an old one and go fish at Bassmaster Classic and feel confident about it. So, Hunter, I will agree. The Shimano Bantam is probably the best reel Shimano has put out in the last 10 years. It is super solid. So. Super smooth, very solid, heavy duty. You're gonna have to close the door,
yeah,
because of all the bugs. If you want to stay in here, you want to stay in here?
Yes.
All right, we'll close that door because we're gonna get Bug City in here.
Yeah, and wasp.
Opinion on Swamp Donkey? Great frog. Matter of fact, I put a couple in my TW cart.
And more frog.
I guess the reason I ordered frogs is they're light, because anything over 3 pounds. TW can't overnight, so I gotta have them overnight. So all the frog stuff will be here by Saturday. Yeah, what was the Corrado with the 3/8 to 1 gear ratio? I used to slow roll big spinnerbaits with that quite a bit. That was my favorite slow rolling spinnerbait reel. We want to talk about Baitman Jr. You don't know? We already talked about them baits. You got any baits you want to talk about? You got anything you want to show off? What we got in that box? The 6 Sense frog. You know what? We'll get my prototype out if I can find my frog box once again. Oh, my frog box is out in my. Hey, go open that door. Don't worry about it. It's kind of like the Mega Bass Big Gabbit. It's not. It's basically a popping frog, but it walks really, really good. Oh yeah, speaking of that, so this dude from the Guggen Squad manager, I don't know why companies are doing this. They just want to crap on everybody else. So 6 Cents posted that the Vega Frog was now in stock or shipping to dealers, blah, blah, blah. This guy that's the manager for the Guggen Squad, his name's Matt, makes a comment and says, at Mega Bass America, insinuating that 6 Cents copied them, which I thought hilarious because I should start tagging Spro USA anytime I see the Guggen Filthy Frog, or 6 Cents on their hard baits, or Sticks Fishing on the rods. And you know what? 6 Cents replied, said, didn't expect that out of you, Matt. Be a leader. And I agree with that. If you've got to knock down another company to make yours look better, then you're behind anyway. So, yeah, I'm not making it happen liking some Guggen baits. I'm not going to talk crap about them. Like, I would just be doing the exact opposite of what I just said. If that's how you catch fish, so be it. I don't have to endorse them or use them. But I'm not going to hate a person for wanting to go catch fish. All right, what you got, Bait Junior? You have got a Teckle. This is the Kick Knocker Pup. So this is basically like the barely legal Vixen. Y'all see that? So basically, Hideki is one of the masterminds behind. Well, it's a long story. I won't say he designed the Vixen because he didn't, but he is one of those guys that was kind of behind getting the bait into America. I'll put it that way. And so he formed Teckle, and now you can get basically the barely legal Vixen again. It's kind of got that hollowed out knocking sound we're famous for, but it's that smaller version. Now, someone always asks me, when do I throw this bait versus the big Repo Man? I always start with the big bait. I like the big Repo Man or the big Teckle Kick Knocker, Vixen, any of those three, the Rover. I always start big. If I'm getting a lot of fish, don't exactly have to be blowing up, but maybe swirling behind it and not really even come close to getting it, then I'll go to a small one. If they're still not getting it, I put something down that I can really slow down. So, dude, bugs are going crazy in here. It's crazy. So this color, this is the Kick Knocker again from Teckle. And that's Chartreuse Shad, which is a color the Vixen was never offered in, I don't believe. I could be wrong, but I don't think Vixen or the Repo Man was available in this color. Look, if they knocked up some woman and had to bust their hump for a living, that's their own effing problem, dude. I mean, yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, I like Lake Fort Gob, John B, AP, and Lunkers Vids, but they're pretty gritty bait-wise. I'm not gonna knock them anymore. I like messing around and teasing them, but I mean, I'm just a little peon in the industry. And you know what? If it wasn't for those guys, I'll say this: they've created such a splash with YouTube fishing. There may not be many people on this stream, and that's okay. But
I'm gonna just let this frog.
Best U.S. rod made, easy. G. Loomis, without a question.
I'll let this frog go.
Favorite Zoom Trickworm color, green pumpkin, huckleberry, black is really good, and watermelon candy has always been a really good Zoom Trickworm color for me. They got a sleeper color, and I find them in Academy all the time. It's called Brown Orange Swirl. It's a great color, especially for a floating worm. It's very natural, but it's got a hint of orange in it. I had an old guy show that to me several years ago. That's a really good color. Brown Orange Swirl. You gonna let the frog go? Well, let him out there. Let him out of here. He might eat all these bugs if we keep him in here.
Yeah.
Dude, in our wrecks, it's just there's no comparison. Everybody's tried to do it in RX. And this is what I was told by G Loomis. I know people were like, man, I wish they'd come out with the new NRX. What are they going to do to make it better? Now, maybe they could change the reel seat a little bit, because the reel seats did used to bust. But as far as the rod, the blank, the actions, the guides, there's nothing to really improve upon. It's the best rod ever, in my opinion. And they ain't talking crap about nobody. It's just that good. It's really hard to improve on perfection. Dude, you gotta keep the door shut. The bugs are getting worse and worse and worse. Baitman Jr.'s gonna let all the bugs in. Dude, so Jackal Poison Ardena is an amazing rod too. Obviously not made in the United States. Dude, Lane Big Fish, 20% off sale. May have to get in on that. I don't know. We'll see what the future holds with Tactical Bassin. Again, Illuminathan. I'm not wanting to reach out and collaborate. I'm saying this really. I respect Matt and Tim more than just fishermen, just as people. And I don't want to come across as a guy that's just out chasing clout and looking for subs. I'm not. If I want to go fishing with them, I'd like to go fishing and not worry about trying to make content, you know. So, and the way I see it, if Matt and Tim want to go fishing with me, they'll call me. I'd love to take them out on Kentucky Lake or the river here anytime. They'll have to really take me because I don't have a boat. But I'm working on probably, I've told myself in the next year or so I'd like to get a boat of some sort. Kayak, John boat, don't really care. Phoenix rods are good, man. Their actions are a little bit lighter than stuff here we use in the South, East Coast, but the weight of them is really light. And I like their reel seats very well. Yes, anyone I recommend to send in baits for custom paint jobs. A guy that's been here on the stream was here earlier, TK Stanley. Tacklecraft is one of the best in the game. So TK, I can leave a link to TK's website in the description. Victor, great guy. He'll treat you right. You just get on his website and look at some of the stuff he's done. TK Stanley's good. My buddy Mike Russell at Bag 5 Baits, he just lives down the road from me. He's actually working with Strike King now. And then Mark Restivo. Those are the best. Tacklecraft, I was not on the Russ Lane. I edited that show, but I did not run the camera. My buddy Tony Hurt ran the camera on that one. Believe it or not, that was actually a pretty tough episode to edit because it was not an easy fishing deal on that. I would agree, Cody. I think the NRX is more sensitive. The Conquest has a little bit more backbone. I'll tell you another underrated rod company. Is Douglas Rods. So I've got a couple rods from Douglas Rods. They're out in like Washington. And dude, they're really, really nice. In mine are swim bait rods. I'd love to have some bottom contact rods, but they're great people, and man, they're lightweight. I really like them. And the 6 Sense rods, man, I've been throwing that sensor a lot for swim jigs and stuff like that. Ever since I caught that fish on spinnerbait on it, it's right. And I would have no problem using all their stuff. So, is Jay Wills the best bass fisherman on the planet right now? I don't see how you could argue he's not. I mean, head and shoulders, the dude is above anyone. Say what you want to about him. Sometimes he can be a little gooberish on camera, but that's just his personality. Dude catches him. without a doubt. Anywhere you go, he is a threat to win almost any tournament. So I think you got to put him with number 1 and Jolie number 2. Yeah, Hunter. You know, I've only got 2 of the rods. I'd love to have more, but I don't have any complaints about either of them. So when I buy fishing rods, I try not to put ungodly stipulations and standards on the price. I mean, I have had people that, you know, just from my retail experience, would buy a $99 Veritas and wonder why it wasn't as sensitive as an NRX. You know, when you buy a $99 rod, I expect it to perform like a $100 rod. It doesn't have to be the most sensitive. It doesn't have to be the most lightweight. It just needs to get the job done and be kind of durable. You know, the Sticks rods I have for 99 bucks, they're lightweight. They feel good. They're sensitive enough. They do what they're supposed to do. I like that. I would say Jay Will. Edwin's not had really as good a year as he had last year. He's obviously a great fisherman. Thrift, he started out hot, kind of cooled down. If I'm looking on the Bassmaster side, I don't think enough tournaments have been fished this year. But John Cox is obviously good, but Ott Defoe is a great fisherman, very good. I would say Ott's actually probably in the top 5. He's been fishing really, really good. Shimano X Pride is a nasty good rod. Tacklecraft, I agree with you. Someone said if you keep your line tight, they all feel good. The problem is when I want to know if a rod's sensitive or not, if I can feel a bite when it's on slack line, either the fish knock the crap out of it or it's the rod. That's why I love NRX. Is a lot of times when you hop a jig, you feel that bite when there's slack line. But yeah, here's the deal. I think you get too sensitive on some techniques. You're second guessing every little rock, every little piece of cover. Was that a bite? Was that a bite? Was that a bite? And so there's times when I don't want it so sensitive that I'm like trying to figure out if that's rocks or shell or a fish just nipping at it. Because what I've seen in amateur fishermen, and guys, I'm an amateur fisherman by the way, so I can say this, is if you put really good equipment in their hands, sometimes it hurts them because they're not used to all the sensitivity. When you take a super sensitive blank like a Jackal and NRX, when a Legend St. Croix, a high-end Dobbins, and you give them a tungsten weight, and you fish a shell bed or something, they're like trying to set the hook every cast. Oh man, I missed one. Oh, I missed one. Oh, I missed one. And I'm like, dude, that's the shells on the bottom. Oh, it's just thumping my line. I said, that's the shells on the bottom. I've seen that before. Because they're not used to feeling that good. I mean, I remember the first Loomis I had, I was like, oh my God, I can feel everything down there. So, 167 in this. I appreciate you guys all joining tonight. Make sure you smash the like button and whatever you want to do. I don't really care. 168. Maybe I got to talk about the Guggen some more. I don't know. You don't use floral or braid. Oh man, I gotta get it. I gotta say, I think you're missing out not using fluorocarbon, depending on the technique. I agree, Hunter. I like mono for cranking as well, and you can get away with a lot lighter mono as you can fluorocarbon. Fluoro does stretch. I want people to understand that it's not like there's zero stretch in fluorocarbon. It does stretch. What happens, unlike mono where it stretches and it comes back together in one piece, once fluorocarbon starts to stretch, it gets really brittle, and that's when you'll see a lot of break-offs on hook sets on fluorocarbon. Yeah, man, I seen Royal catch him on the bull shad. He's a good dude. How many of those custom bosses you've been getting rattled? Very few, if not zero. I don't like rattling crankbaits for the most part. I'm just not. I like a speed trap and a few other things that's got a rattle. For the most part, I like my crankbaits silent. And it's really hard to find deep ones that are silent. But I don't. I used to throw a lipless on a trap quite a bit. Let's see. Does a crankbait rod need to be expensive to be a super great rod? No, absolutely not. Case in point, when I was talking about the Veritas, the first generation white Veritas rods, their cranking rods were really, really good. I got a rod here. It's $99. The Sticks reaction rod. It's one of the better feeling crankbait rods you'll put in your hand for 99 bucks. The Daiwa Tatula 8-foot cranking rod is amazing for 170 bucks. Really good rod. What's up, Junior Richardson? So fluorocarbon is stiff as hell. Depending on what typing you get, I guess I'm just used to it by now. Once you get used to fluorocarbon, you really don't want to. You won't ever really want to go back to mono. Now I tell this story because the first stuff I ever bought was Trilane, Berkeley Vanish, Transition. Don't buy it. Junk. The gold stuff, I literally broke off every cast. But if you're going to buy a fluorocarbon, buy a good brand. Buy a Sunline or Cigar, or go with like Gamma. You're going to spend more money, but I'm telling you, you get more bites on fluorocarbon. I don't know if you get more bites. You feel more bites with fluorocarbon. Let's see here. What's a good deep cranking rod line? I'd look at the Dobbins cranking series, the Champion rods, the 765, the 804, 805, 806 CBs. Those are really good. And the 704 CB is a really good one. Now I don't even think they got a 735 CB. Dobbins is good. The St. Croix S-Glass cranking rods, really good. Tatula crankbait rods. I'll link. I got the link to the Sticks rod in my description of the video. So, what's up, Mike Dove? Fenwick makes good rods too. There's a lot of good brands on the market. So I always tell people, if you got a chance, you need to go to your local shop and put stuff in your hands. You know, you can always take people's suggestions on YouTube, and that's fine. But let's say I like a rod and you buy it and you get home, you're disappointed. Then you think I'm full of shit. So I don't want that to happen. You go over there and play and figure out what's the best feel for you. What Bass Pro has the hottest wife? Man, I don't really think I'm going to answer that question. I think that's kind of rude. Yeah, I'm a tight ass and don't like changing out expensive line. I will agree with that. I do like P-Line CXX. So if I was going to go to almost all mono, I would go to Maxima, or I would go to the P-Line CXX. I used to use Trilane Sensation all the time before I got on the fluorocarbon. Trilane Sensation is really good monofilament. It's very smooth. It doesn't have a lot of stretch at all. So. What about a line spooler? Any suggestion? I don't use one. I would say the TH Marine thing you can hook up to your wall or inside your boot or boat. It's good enough. But I don't use a line spooler. You can take a Sharpie and put it between the thing and hold it between your feet. A lot of people do that. What are some industry secrets that aren't let out? Probably how little a lot of these Bass Pros are actually making from sponsorship. You got about, I would say, less than 10% of the pros are making a livable wage from sponsors. You'd be surprised how much money companies like, well, I won't say it, how much money certain companies are making from guys and paying them very little. And I think that's why so many pros are trying to do the YouTube thing, because they think they're going to make $100,000 a year on YouTube when in reality they're not. And I say this in jest and kind of being funny, but if you let fishermen think they can make money from it, they'll ruin it. And I feel like YouTube in 2 years is going to be so watered down with a bunch of jersey wearing guys trying to use YouTube as a leverage for sponsorship money. It's going to make it very unbearable. How much profit is made on most limits rods? I'll be straight honest with you. I don't really want to answer that question, but I'll put it this way. The dealer's making really good money when he sells limits rod, as long as it's a top shelf rod. If it's $600, if you sold one every day, you would come out ahead at the end of the year. Which is the line, brand, and type that Fritz uses no longer made? Man, I forgot the name of it. Someone told me before. Best pro on YouTube. I'm going to be honest. I would probably say Scott Martin. It's hard to argue the stats of that. But Jacob Wheeler is on YouTube. He has a great channel. I enjoy Jacob's channel. But Skeet Reese is doing a lot of good stuff. Skeet's a really great fisherman, too. But right now, Jacob Wheels is the man. That's right, Rick Purcell. High Tech Outdoors take care of you on them Loomis rods. $400 Loomis is $200 dealer price. You're getting close. It's not 50%. You're getting close, but it's not 50%. But High Tech Outdoors, here where I live, they'll take care of you. And he will ship to you as well. So that's it. Tough line. Yeah, and that's on the high end rods, Ballin 21. You know the NRX stuff like that. Yes, you will make 2 to 250, but it's not 50 points. So, dude, Hunter Shyrock. A lot of people forget he was doing some amazing stuff on YouTube. He's a very talented videographer and editor, and he was kind of doing it, him and his brother, before anybody else, and they weren't getting the love that everybody else. Brandon Polinick's channel is amazing too, but I don't really get a whole lot. I don't get into the pro stuff. That don't excite me. You know what I mean? I like watching stuff like Cole and Jay because they're normal people doing cool stuff. The pros, that's what they're supposed to do. They're doing it for a living. They're supposed to catch fish. Guys like me aren't supposed to go out and chunk a $150 swim bait and catch one on it. You know what I mean? IMX is a great rod. For the money, I really like the IMX rod. Castledine stuff's really good. Well, I appreciate that. I'm just a normal dude. I'm not a big Enigma fan, but I'm not going to hate on anybody for using their stuff. B-Light's channel is good stuff. B-Light's a great guy. So Fletcher Shyrock is actually, I don't know if I've let you go. Fletcher Shyrock or Shryock or whatever. He's the one that actually gave me the nickname the Baitman. So I appreciate Fletcher. It was his idea to make the Facebook page and all that. Fletcher's a great guy to me personally. I don't know what you guys think of him as a fisherman. He's actually had a really good year on Major League Fishing. I like Fletch. He's cool. He does tell it like it is. I don't know what I am in Fletcher's. I don't think I'm quite big enough to be a wolf. Maybe like a possum. Yeah, that's it. A possum. What is something that ICAST 2020 you want? So my favorite bait to come out of ICAST 2020 is the Rapala Slim crankbait. In the color Big Shad, that's got my Chartreuse purple. But again, I'm a flat side lover. I love the DT flat series. It got discontinued. Now I'm really excited for that bait. The new Strike King series is a hard watch for me. I'll agree. Tyler's Real Fishing is doing all that, and I've watched a couple and they're really good. But I kind of agree with you, TK, and I don't want to. We can talk to that in a private message on IG, but I like Tyler. I'm not bashing him or anything, but I got a long story about that, and it doesn't need to go on YouTube. So, Big Bites BFE Creature Bait. That bait is actually very familiar. It's not a copy, but Lake Fork used to make a bait that is very similar to that. But I like the BFE. Yes, Sean Myers Canine makes some good stuff. The Slim should be out pretty soon. There's guys buying the new Rapala DT colors right now. I think the new stuff from Rapala should be hitting the next day or two. Well, Chick's not quite infested with the Asian carp as Kentucky Lake or Lake Barkley or Pickwick. And I'm here to tell you, Asian carp ain't the only problem that happened in Kentucky Lake. And yes, it sucked, and they're more of a nuisance than anything, but they didn't ruin the fishing. Fishermen ruined the fishing, and killing the grass ruined the fishing on Kentucky Lake. The carp just made it even harder. Yeah, Canine's braid's really good. I like it. Very, very good company. If you don't know what I'm checking out, check out caninefishing.com. A buddy of mine from Tennessee, Nashville, Kelly Albert, started this line company a few years ago and trying to make a manageable fluorocarbon at a good price. And he's done an amazing job. And I like his stuff. Great crankbait line, man. Really good stuff. Bro, I swear I'm going to get jumped by Baitman Jr., but I don't like Rapala. Some guys don't like Rapala, but do their baits catch fish. That's all I got to say. It's just like me, Guggen's baits. I don't like Guggen baits, but they catch fish. I'm not going to argue with it. I'm not going to bash them. It's okay not... Hey, and it's okay not to like a certain bait or certain companies. There's nothing wrong with that. Do they use herbicides to Kentucky Lake to kill the milfoil? Dude, I don't know what they did, but we hadn't had a shred of grass grow in about 5 years, if not more than that. So I think they nuked that whole sumbitch. Yo, Baitman, it's another bomb track, switch shirt. Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate that. What's up, Marky Sparky? Best finesse jig. That's a good one. I always liked the Aiken Spider Jig. That was one of my favorites. The new 6 Cents Finesse Jig is really good. I got a buddy that owns a company called Trophy Bass Company. I wish I had one sitting up here. I thought I had one the other day. Yeah, I do. This is the Trophy Pro Finesse. What I like about this one, it's got that real flat style rubber, small hook, very finessey hook, but it's kind of got some living rubber in there. Really, really good little jig, ball head. That and the 6 Cents finesse jigs are really, really good. The old school Aikens jig and the War Eagle finesse jig, really, really good. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get on a jig show, boy. We'll be here all night for sure. One of my favorite jigs of all time right here, the Olam's trailer hitch jig. If you like to flip, you better have you some of them. That color's called Coon Ass. Coontail, really, really good. Let's see here. Omega Custom Tackle makes some good finesse stuff, especially if you're in the Ozarks. Man, Omega stuff is really, really good. What's up, James? Let's see. Awesome. Went to the store for a 6-incher, still streaming. Well, I went and got me a little bit of Mountain Dew so I could keep going. Adam Martin says the grass carp of the Asian carp infestation keep grass from coming back. So I want to say this. I hate to get on a Kentucky Lake rant, but dude, the grass carp population's really exploded. When I was bow fishing this spring, I never seen that many. Usually when you went bow fishing, if you saw 4 or 5 grass carp in a night, that was whoa. Now there's guys seeing 20, 30, 40 grass carp a night. It's kind of crazy. But we ain't got no grass, so I don't understand. Yeah, Lunker City made some good stuff, but man, they had the most expensive lead terminal tackle I've ever seen in my life. They're like $4 for a pack of nail weights. No thanks. I'll go to True Value. What are you throwing this fall, Bait? I don't think Bait Junior's in here anymore. Do I favor titanium over lead jigs? I've never thrown a titanium jig. But if you mean tungsten, I do like the feel of tungsten. It's just it's just expensive. But if I want something compact, absolutely I would favor a tungsten jig. I like the DT10s and 16s, but I use other crankbaits more often. I like the 10 and 16. Again, the one crankbait I've won the most money on is a DT16 in Parrot. I'll always have a place for that bait. Good luck, Hunter Nixon. Jack, if you jank, send me a picture on Instagram. I'll share it up. So anytime you guys got any fishing photos or you buy some stuff from 6 Cents or whatnot, and you follow me on Instagram, send me a message. I'll make sure I share it on the store for you. So why am I streaming on a Wednesday night? Because I didn't have to work tonight, so I figured I would stream. Everyone's all like, man, I wish Baitman would stream more nights and all that, so I do. I figured I would. Alright, what's this? Did you see the David Dilley rant about the 2,500 towing fee during turning practice on the river? I guess he should have had Boat US. Yes, so Bayou Bernard, there's a lot of guys that are here locally commercial fishing for catfish. They're using cut Asian carp as bait, and they said it's dynamite. Yes, I love the BDS 3, Robert Linson. That's actually my favorite of the BDS lineup was the 3. All good, Bob Fishnut. I've been on that midnight oil for a while, so I got to stay up really late today so I can stay on my sleep pattern. I got to work tomorrow night as well. What's up, Bill Morgan? Vol for life. I'm glad we have had a proof of life check on you, my friend. So shout out to you, brother. Shout out to all my Vols in here. We're going to have a football season, and we're kicking Florida's ass the first game of the season. I'm just going to let you know. Jimmy Pruitt is going to spit some skull all over, what's his name down there, Florida? Dan Mullen. Yeah, he's going to spit some beach nut in Dan Mullen's eye. It's happening in Knoxville. We are playing football because we are the SEC. That's right, Trey Lawrence. Go Big Orange. You know what? If you're Ohio State, bring it to the SEC. It's time you play some real teams during the regular season. That's all I got to say. We might get our ass kicked, but we ain't scared of nobody. I'm still pissed that Oklahoma backed out. So if Oklahoma decides to play this season, I'm just going to call them pansies because they basically made a big stink of having to play Tennessee the first game and had to move their first game around so they could get 2 weeks to practice for the Vols. Yeah, we don't have to do that. We'll come play you anywhere, anytime. We may get our butt kicked. But I'm not so sure Oklahoma was going to beat Tennessee. I love college football. It's my favorite thing. That's right, Clay. You know what? Arkansas got totally screwed in that. The Big Ten is tough. Tennessee wouldn't even beat Illinois. Well, we'd beat Indiana. I think we'd beat Illinois. Nebraska's I can't talk crap about Nebraska. They are a legendary football team, a top 10 all-time program, but unfortunately kind of suffered from the same little bug there. So here's my thing about Oklahoma fans. They kept telling me all year, our backup quarterback's better. Spencer Rattler's better than Hurts. And I'm like, dude. And then they're on there blaming Hurts for doing a bad job. And I'm saying, if your backup quarterback is so much better than your starter, why is he not playing? And they say, oh, well, that's because the coach promised Jalen this. I'm like, your coach is an idiot. if he's out there playing a kid on a promise that's terrible at the quarterback. If you've got a kid that's that much better on the bench, he's an idiot. I don't mean like low IQ. I just mean that he's not a good coach. Well, they had plenty of tournaments to fish out in California. That's true. And Clear Lake is not a small lake, by the way. There's plenty of water and areas for Matt and Tim to fish. And I think they did fish a few tournaments out in California. But, so, if this Spencer Rattler at Oklahoma was so much better, why wasn't he playing? Anyway, that's my college football rant. I don't know what I'm going to do this fall if there is no college football on Saturdays. Yep, Nebraska did have Peyton Manning's number. Bama fan in the back being silent, that's for sure. You know what? I hate Bama, can't stand them, but I respect them. It is what it is. We had a 10-year streak over Bama. No other team's ever had a longer winning streak against Alabama than Tennessee. Phil Fulmer absolutely owned them. And hey, you know what? It's Saban's turn, but it's going to be a good rivalry. I am going to have to go pond hopping. The problem is, if there's ponds around here and people know about them, they just absolutely rape them. People in Western Kentucky don't understand the concept of catch and release. It's basically catch and re-grease is what it is. BJ, we can be friends any time of the year except the third Saturday in October. That's all I got to say. No, Tactical Bassin is like going to be like 3 hours away from me, but I'd love to take them to a football game. I like the XFL. We got to have some kind of entertainment. Let's see. The Huskers owned the Vols back in the day. That was true, but they didn't own them Nebraska got beat by Butch Jones. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is Butch Jones beat Nebraska pretty easily. I think Saban runs a tight ship, but I think he's had some really good assistants, and I have a feeling when he steps down, you're going to find out where a lot of these Humvees and the Dodge Chargers were coming from for the Alabama football players. So I'll be honest, I was hoping that Nebraska's college football hire, Scott Frost, would work out because they deserve. Dude, they have really passionate fans, and they deserve for it to work out. But they kind of ran Bo Pelini off, and while he wasn't going to BCS bowls or the playoffs, he had a pretty consistent thing going there. So I don't Big Ten canceled for fall. If you're canceling for fall, you're not going to play in the spring. It's absolutely way too much stress to put on a student athlete. You've got college basketball still going. If you cancel this fall, they're not playing for another year. So Cass King is the best. I don't know about that. They make some decent stuff. But all right. Hey, Baitman, I got some new kayaks coming in October. Old Town iPilot. Going to be selling them in Indian, Minnesota. If you want to test them out, let me know. I can let you try one for a while. Man, Mike Dove, I'd love to. I see all these other YouTubers getting Old Town kayaks, 3, 4 of them. Man, I would love to test one out. I'll make whatever videos because I need to make some fishing content. I don't know what a man's got to do. I guess I've got to. Now, Cole and Jay, they got some Old Town kayaks. They absolutely deserve it, too. They've got a ton of subscribers, and they've been making lots of kayak videos before that, and I'm glad they got hooked up. I remember when they told me it was really exciting news. So, all right, it's like 9:45. I need to go hang out with the kids. I told Baitman Jr. that I'm gonna watch some TV with him and whatnot. So, I hope you guys enjoyed a random Wednesday night stream. I'm gonna have to make a thumbnail about something. I don't know. But I will be streaming back Saturday night. I'm going to try to talk all frogs Saturday night. I'm trying to order some stuff from the Hookup Tackle, TW, some JDM frogs and stuff like that. So let's be prepared to talk frog fishing. Hopefully I've got the new 6 cents frogs in here. Yeah. And by the way, I'm dropping some new merch Saturday night. I got a new shirt I've designed, and I think you guys will really like it. So anyway, thanks again, guys, for joining me on Wednesday night. I'll try to stream more often. This was just one of those deals where I was able to get off work and thought, hey, you know what? I'll bring y'all some content. So thank you guys so much. Be sure to leave a comment after the video and smash the like button for me, or do it for Baitman Jr. because he's a lot cooler than me.